Hello, and welcome to another one of my updates. And despite it being another one of my updates, let's get straight to a Cornelius update. I did get a chance to speak with her, and turns out she is currently being held on a $50,000 bond, and the charges are some sort of terroristic thing. I think that has to do with the gun. I can't remember if it had a weapons thing. I apologize, but when I spoke to her, it was the middle of the evening, and I was actually not expecting a phone call from her, and don't get the best reception out here, so I apologize that. And then also, apparently for receiving stolen goods, apparently she had a battery of somebody's that allegedly, I don't know. I do not know the full story, but anyways, so that's what she's being held on. She does believe that she will be released on Monday after her pre-trial hearing. It took them about 4 days to actually get her food that she can eat because she is has celiac disease and needs to have a gluten-free diet. So it took them about 4 days to get that. And anyway, that's the Cornelius update. How about we do one of those 4 questions with Kaz? Hey there, another 4 questions with Kaz. We have Artish with us today. Artish, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Atish. I'm from Bangladesh. I've been traveling USA for the last 3 months, and I'm going to travel more 2-3 months. So this is my first time in States. So I was in New York for 2 months, and then I got bored. The New York was too much. Like, it was really happening place, and then I don't know many more people over there. So I wanted to have a road trip, and I always wanted to have a road trip from movies, you know. Mm-hmm. So I've been like having road trips around New York, upstate New York, and then wanted to go to Yosemite. So I went to Oakland. I have a friend's place over there, so I stayed there for like 2 weeks, and then I went to Yosemite for 10 days, and then I don't know what to do. I wanted to go to LA and San Francisco, went there, so came to LA, and then I have a friend here, Neil Malik, who is like a singer, plays shows around LA and Hollywood and all other stuffs, and then one of my friends introduced me with him, so we become friends, and then he told me about this place. And then I saw this place before also in like Into the Wild. So I never have planned that like one day maybe I'll go to that place, but it all happened. I always liked that movie. Everybody loved that movie. It's like every time I saw that movie, it makes me sad. Like for many reasons, I always wanted to do those things, and then I'm over here in Slab.
Right on. So I guess that kind of also covers what brought you to Slab City, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So what has been your favorite thing about Slab City?
Like, you don't need to worry about a single thing. That's the favorite thing about Slab City. Like, you wake up, you go to sleep, no rules and regulations, nothing actually. Like, you wake up and you're on your own. All you need to worry about in the summer, because I came in a very wrong time in a sense, like it's too hot. But it's good that it's too hot. You don't see the touristic people.
Yeah.
You see the people who really from here.
Yep.
So this is like, there's a pros and cons of this time. So the pros is like this, and then the cons is like it's too hot. You need to worry about the water.
All right. What has surprised you most about Slab City?
Okay, I don't know how do I say it. Like in Slab City, it's like one thing really surprised me, but I'm not gonna talk about it. So I'm gonna skip this question because I know exactly what surprised me.
All right.
But I'm not gonna talk about it.
Okay, fair enough. And all right, if there was one thing you could change about Slab City, what would it be?
I actually want to change 2 things. Because it's actually a free city, police does not come often that much, nothing happens. So even the police comes, nobody usually get arrested or something like that. So there's like lots of tweakers, drug addict, like a math and everything. Like if it would be better without them. This place would be better without them. So one thing, these things I really want to change. Like, you don't want to do, you don't know, like when you get something free, like Slabs calls it the last free city standing, right? So it's a free city, so don't misuse it, because one day maybe it will not remain the way it is. So like I don't want them to live over here. So one thing, and the another thing, the sanitation. It's really pissed me off. Like people living over here for 20-30 years, but they do not like. I've met with people who is still living over here for 20-30 years, but they found so many. They knows how to deal with the heat. They found so many options. Like they dig a hole and then they find a ventilation and different kind of cooling system. But I don't know why people, like most of the people, did not find a proper solution for sanitation. Like back to Bangladesh, India doesn't have a proper sanitation, but the Bangladesh has almost like a 100% by now sanitation system. And then if you see those model, it's not that expensive. It's not like a costly. You can make a toilet for for the whole community, 2 toilet for the whole community, and it survives for 10 years. So I really want to change the sanitation system. It's really disgusting over here.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed your time at
Thank
Slab
you.
City. Welcome back. Yeah. So in a little bit here, I'm going to give you a small tour of my sleeping nook. I was kind of hoping that the people who did the video shoot, the guy would have brought his GoPro, or actually what ended up happening is one night at the range, he's like, you know what, I'm just going to give you my GoPro. He's like, keep on bugging me about it, I'll get it sent out. So I bug him a little bit about it, and he's like, oh, I'm going to hold on to it for a month. There's this potential project coming up, so in about a month, or probably in a couple of weeks now, I'm going to start bugging him to send that out to me. So yeah, definitely looking forward to getting that GoPro 360. But I was hoping to do a tour of my place with that. So what I'm going to do in a little bit here is give you just a peek of the sleeping nook that I built, because I got some more pallets. And actually, I just found out I'm going to be acquiring another 50 pallets, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Like, some of my options is I could build a little bit better kitchen that more people could actually have access to other than just myself, and with still allowing me to have my private area. I suppose I could tell people, yeah, you can use my kitchen, but that means that they could potentially be walking into my private space, and I might not want that at the time. So I could potentially build a kitchen with a different access, or maybe an entirely different building that is the kitchen away from my area. I was thinking maybe I could, to use less panels, could tie into my building. And yeah, kind of shared walls, type village type thing. Because yeah, I want there to be public space and private space, and I want the private space far enough away where people can actually get a break. And my tent doesn't necessarily allow me a break if people are close. So it might be a separate building. I also could potentially build like a bunkhouse style building where, there could be 4 rooms close together. People could just use it for a place to sleep, and that's about it. Because, yeah, probably wouldn't be that much privacy. But it would be close by, so, people would help keep an eye on each other's stuff, I would imagine. So, yeah, there's some safety things like that. I could maybe even rent out those rooms on Airbnb. Who knows? anyways, because I am on couch surfing, and while I seem to be getting a fair amount of people requesting to come stay, people seem to flake out and not actually show up. Granted, all three parties who have said they're going to come through have been German. I don't know if that says something about the German people or not, that, they say something but no follow through. I don't know. Try not to be too judgmental. Actually, I'm just poking a little bit of fun because I do find it interesting that it has been people from Germany who have contacted me to stay here and then don't show up. So, yeah, I mean, I really wish I had a better computer. I'm currently using a laptop that was made for Vista, and it's just a dual 2.0 chip. Really basic, kind of slow. Not real good for working with things like Google SketchUp. Premiere Pro doesn't, it runs on it, but not super great. So, I don't know, if you got a quad-core laptop just laying around collecting dust, if you want to send that to me, that would be great. And then maybe I could actually do some of these ideas that I have in my head on Google SketchUp, and I can show you guys, and, maybe get you a little bit more involved in the process. And part of the reason why I'm telling you these options is because I do want to hear back from you guys. What do you think is the best use of these 50 pallets? I currently have my private space, or my building built. I could live here by myself quite comfortably. I have enough pallets to finish the outhouse slash shower slash wash station. So I have those things covered. What should I do with it? Should I build a kitchen where more people could actually use it? Do I build a bunkhouse where people can come stay and have a place to put their stuff? Or, I could use a good chunk of those and make this place a little bit more weatherproof. I could take the pallets along with some of this really heavy cardboard that comes with them and paint them in an exterior paint so that they would hold up to water and make this place a little bit more watertight. It's not that we get much rain, but my stuff does get wet, or some of the stuff does get wet when it rains. So, yeah, what should I do with it? I would love to hear your guys' opinion on what I should do with it. All right, so now let's actually go ahead and do that tour. Hello. Let me apologize for having to bump the size down. Unfortunately, my camera with the 720 resolution just doesn't work for tiny house applications, so I apologize for that. And you're probably used to this view because this is where most of the time I sit and talk or I interview people for 4 questions. That's where it happens. And I'm actually standing near my front door. So if you remember the other tour when you walked in, this kind of gives you an idea where yours at. And before, or whatever the area that I'm going to show you here in a second, is actually where the tent was. So that area's changed a bit. And yeah, so Dave, yeah, if that GoPro's just collecting dust, send it to me. Or actually anybody out there, if you have a GoPro or a DSLR that does video, and it's just sitting there collecting dust, maybe some of my haters, maybe that's why they hate me, is because they wanted to be doing YouTube videos like this, and they just haven't been able to accomplish that dream yet. So they see me doing their dream and they're all pissed off. So if you're one of those people and you have shit sitting on your shelf collecting dust, by all means feel free to send that on to me. Anyways, so without further ado, let's show you the bedroom nook. And actually it's going to start here in the living room because part of my bedroom nook includes this kind of bookshelf entertainment type unit. So this is facing the living room, and as you can see, there's a couple of bookshelves as well as other cutout little nooks type things, and an area for maybe some art to go. So that's what it looks like into the into the living room. And now let's kind of walk back a little bit towards the bedroom nook. And as you're going to see, part of the bedroom nook now includes this closet. There's one on each side. So that also is created by the bedroom nook because there's this half wall that's put up. And basically the bedroom nook is a platform bed with a king size bed on it that I got off of Craigslist. I actually looked in the Palm Springs section in the free, and there was all kinds of mattresses there. And so like I replied to a bunch, told them my situation, that I was in Slab City, I didn't have a vehicle, like I would gladly cook them a meal or something like that if they'd be willing to drive it to me. And apparently there was a couple that had family in Brawley that was going to be going that way, and they just dropped it off for free. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, so this is part of my bedroom nook, and as you can see, no roof. So yeah, for the most part, unless it's going to rain, I sleep out underneath the stars. I'll explain what I do in rain in a little bit here. So I'm going to go and kind of spin around to try to show you the rest of the entertainment center. So as you can see, there is a cutout nook here where I throw my laptop if I want to watch a movie up in there and can watch it. I mean, if somebody wanted to get a big old TV or a big monitor, which, you know, I'm getting kind of old, maybe I will, can throw it up in there and video. I still have some gaps to fill in with the slats because they'll all be filled in like the other ones, but that's pretty much it. But as you can see on the top, there's that great tarp-like thing. That is a rain fly, and it's kind of a weak one. What I actually want to do is replace it with a nice canvas tarp. And what I do is, if it's going to rain or in a little bit, because to keep the sun off my bed from warming it up, you drag it across and it actually covers up so that the rain stays off the bed, provided that it is a waterproof one, which this rain fly that's up there currently isn't, which is why during the day I don't stretch it out, because it is just kind of breaking up, and I only want to use it if it's going to rain and I need to while sleeping. So anyways, yeah, that's my little sleeping nook. Aren't you jealous? I bet you are. Welcome back. Hey, how about a little bit more clarification on Confederate flag type stuff? So Z-Man wrote me and told me I didn't know what or commented, told me I didn't know what I was talking about, and then made a quote from William T. Thompson. And yeah, that statement that that gentleman made was definitely racist and was about a flag he designed. Let me actually read that quote word for word so we know what we're talking about. I'm going to put it up on the screen so that you can follow along as well. As a people, we are to maintain the heavenly ordained supremacy of white man over the inferior or colored race. A white flag would thus empathical of archaic. Anyway, sorry, don't know that word, and actually spell check doesn't either, so don't know. Anyways, of the cause. Upon a red field would stand forth our Southern Cross, gemmed, preserving in beautiful contrast the red, white, and blue. William T. Thompson, April 23rd, 1863. And he said that about this flag. That doesn't look like the one that was being flown in South Carolina, now does it? Doesn't look like the one that's on top of the General Lee. Notice the white flag. Look at that white flag there. Yes, there is the Southern Cross. Notice that it's very small. Alright? So that's actually the flag, and that's the second Confederate flag that was designed by William T. Thompson. And also, to further illustrate that red field, there was the third Confederate flag now on your thing. Now, as you can see, neither of these are the Confederate, or what's being called the Confederate flag, actually looks like. So, the flag that is commonly referred to as the Confederate flag has never been historically represented by the Confederate States. And in fact, it is the battle flag of North Virginia, as well as the second Confederate Navy Jack. So, yeah, these are also commonly referred to as either the Rebel flag or the Dixie flag. Alright, and so that's the flag to me, the Rebel flag, that represents what really the Civil War was about. You know, is rebelling against the national government of saying what states can and cannot do. So when I think of the Civil War, I don't think of that flag. I think of the Rebel flag and what was really going on behind that. And this statement was taken from Wikipedia. As of the earliest 21st century, the Rebel flag has become a highly diverse symbol in the United States. In a national survey in 2015 across all races, 57% of Americans had the opinion that the second Confederate Navy Jack and or the battle flag of North Virginia represents Southern pride rather than racism. A similar poll in 2000 had nearly identical results of 59%. However, poll results from only Southern yielded a completely different result. 75% of Southern whites described the flag as a symbol of pride, while 75% of Southern blacks said it represented racism. Alright, so, like, the flag's going to represent to you what you want it to. Please don't push your agenda on me. Alright? Ask me, what does that flag symbolize to you? And if I tell you what it symbolizes for me, I'm not fucking lying. I'm telling you what it symbolizes for me, and when it comes to it, that's all that matters, is what it symbolizes to that person. You can't force other people into making it as what you think it is, especially when it's not accurate. It is not the flag that racist statement was made about. And I know a bunch of people are going to say, oh, well, that flag's a symbol for the KKK. Actually, here are a bunch of KKK pictures with flags in it. What flag is that? That's right. Most of them are our United States flag. Is our flag a symbol of racism? Should we start outlawing that now too? So this is why I get upset, is because it's a very slippery slope once we start doing things like we're doing about the Confederate flag that isn't the Confederate flag. So, yeah, well, people can twist whatever they want. So this is why I get upset when things like that happen. So that's another one of my updates. Hope you enjoyed this one. Again, let me know what you think I should do with the 50 pallets I'm going to acquire in the bottom, in the comments. Anyways, peace, love, and all that hippie jazz.